Greetings, fam. Welcome again to Chemistry Renewal, fam. Today, fam, I'll be discussing spirituality, and culture. Basically, fam, I want you all to understand, what do I mean when I say spirituality is what created culture. Culture culture was developed from spirituality. Do you understand? And before I begin with today's video, fam, I just want you all to understand something, fam, that especially to the brothers and sisters that were kind of like born and brought up into the cities and townships, suburbs, and all those kind of things. You understand? I want you all to understand that there are certain things that we will talk about when it comes to culture and traditions that you all might not truly understand in terms of spirituality. Do you understand? Because we need to understand, fam, that ubuXhosa is not something that you only be by understanding certain concepts about ubuXhosa or just having history about ubuXhosa and all those kind of things, which is ubuXhosa ayonto uyazi ngokufunda. You understand? ubuXhosa is not just about ukuthetha isiXhosa. Do you understand? uMxhosa akasithethi isiXhosa, uMxhosa uyasiXhosa isiXhosa. So there's a difference between all those kind of things. Do you understand? So it is very, very important for you all to understand that there are certain aspects of or certain things, traditions or cultures that we practice or we still practice that you all might not comprehend that by this what do you mean? Why do we have these kind of things? Why were these kind of things created? Do you understand? You may not comprehend those things and those aspects about our lives and realities due to the fact that you all were born in this city life. You were born in the matrix. You were born in this life of system. Do you understand? So when you're talking of spirituality, don't be thinking that spirituality is something that's separated from culture. You understand? So in today's video, fam, I'm just gonna try and break that down for you so that you can comprehend that. What do I mean when I say that as spiritual beings, we do have spiritual reality, which is our life is metaphysically. That what we are in the spiritual realms is that what we pose to manifest here on earth, which is the essence of heaven on earth, manifesting paradise here on earth. Do you understand? So what I want you all to comprehend, fam, is that, for instance, when you're talking about um, Osiris, if you still remember the story of remember, Osiris represents our higher selves, our higher spiritual selves. Do you understand? So Osiris is what brings order. Do you understand? Osiris is the king that came to Egypt and brought order. Do you understand? And came it. But remember on the story I told you before that when we're talking of Osiris, you must understand that we're talking about our higher spiritual selves. Do you understand? This is why now we created mysteries. You understand, in the mystery school, so that people can be taught how do you operate as a god that you truly are. Do you understand? So we need to understand, fam, that we created certain traditions and certain things in order to help others grow spiritually. Do you understand? So we need to comprehend that when we're talking of culture, what is culture, for instance? We need to first understand that what it is that we're talking about when we're talking about culture. Do you understand? Because we need to understand that as a spiritual being, you can't live as an ordinary being, if I can put it like that, because we are actually spiritual beings. But I'm kind of like putting like this because we are living in the world now whereby not everyone is spiritual. Some people are not even natural. We got hybrids, we got clones now, we got GMOs, we got a lot of things that are actually out of nature, you understand? So when you're talking about spirituality, we need to comprehend, fam, that a lot of people won't have the same meaning that it does, to some. You understand? So one other thing I want you all to understand, fam, is that as spiritual beings, do you understand? The way we live is directly proportional to the state of consciousness that we are in. Do you understand? So because now we have elevated state of consciousness, because now during the ancient times, for instance, do you understand? Because you need to understand that this state of consciousness we're trying to bring out now is not like a state of consciousness that's new, actually, because there's nothing really new under the sun. Do you understand? So during the ancient times, our ancients lived consciously and created civilization the way they did because they were spiritually enlightened. Do you understand? They were spiritually awakened. Do you understand? It was the understanding of spirituality and how spirituality works that they were able to create civilizations the way they did. Do you understand? So we need to comprehend, fam, that as I said on my previous video, that the loss of enlightenment is what resulted to the loss of understanding culture, to the loss of understanding religion and traditions. All these things, fam, are intertwined and tuned with our spiritual reality. As I already said, that we are metaphysical beings. Do you understand? So certain cultures and traditions are meant to kind of like help us stay aligned and tuned with our spiritual lives. That's why it's in twin. Do you understand? We have certain things that we do and we have. Do you understand? Nangona nje umzekelo amasiko athile. You understand? Nesithethe esithile singasaqondwa ngoku ngohlobo zelulo. Ngokubana ke ngoku ukrelekrele bukubona ngeliso lomoya bubu kaloku ngoku masephulukene nabo, which is into ke leyo hlele siyithetha, which is le nto sizama ukuyibuyisa ngoku. So ngenxa yokubana ke ngoku abantu selephulukene babukrelekrele bakubona ngeliso lomoya, ezinye izinto ngoku asisaziboni ngale ndlela ziyiyo, ezinye izinto asisaziqondi ngohlobo zolulo, ngoba ngoku ezinye izinto sizenza religiously. As I keep on saying, umzekelo into yokubana ngoku abantu sele be-religiously ngoku abantu abasengani benkolo, abantu bayakholelwa, abantu abasenza izinto ngokwazi, abantu benza izinto ngokukholelwa. Do you understand? That's why ke ngoku nendlela ekuphilwa ngayo fumanisa into yobana abantu le nto bayithethayo abayiphili. Do you understand? Yiyo ke ngoku esiXhoseni sizothi thina umazi wayo umngambi wayo, because awunoyazi indlela ongayihambiyo. Namhlanje you might wonder that why is it that this revolution is not actually manifesting? Why there's no implementation of this revolution? It is because people are not actually spiritual. It is because people are not yet awakened spiritually. Do you understand? Yes, there is light. Do you understand? There is light, but people are not yet enlightened. Do you understand? They still see light as something that's there. They don't see light as something that's within themselves. Do you understand? Which is why now they live the way they do. Because we need to understand, fam, that as a spiritual being, you can't be living life of savage, for instance. You understand? Like I said in my previous video, when I was trying to talk in terms of energy, frequency, vibration, and vibrations, that your spiritual self is of finer vibrations. Do you understand? Your spiritual self is connected to higher frequencies. The spiritual self is connected to the Muslim networks. Do you understand? Your spiritual self is what's connected to the finest energies and vibrations. You understand? And frequencies that you can ever find there. Do you understand? Which is why now we need to understand that as a spiritual being, we had to create a certain culture and a certain way, do you understand, of living, so that as a spiritual being that you are, you can better manifest in this physical realm. So that as a spiritual being that you are, you can better utilize, you understand, and live in this 3D realm. You understand? That's why, for instance, we have certain ways of eating. Do you understand? Those are not just things that are created by human mind or everything. No, that's why I say, for instance, those that like to ask me when it comes to dieting, for instance, how do I change eating this to eating that? You understand? That's something that happens spiritually. Yes, I can tell you now the difference because I know the difference already because I've kind of like already underwent the process. But you need to understand, fam, that for instance, that's something that happened by spiritually. Do you understand? As I've already said, that the spirit is of finer vibration. The spirit is of highest vibrations, finest vibrations and frequencies. Do you understand? So there are certain things that are toxic to the spirit. There are certain things that kind of like lowers the vibration of you as a spiritual being. certain foods, certain habits, certain thoughts. Do you understand? All those kind of things. You see, that's why now as you grow and tune more with the spiritual self, certain things you let go of, certain things or certain habits no longer interest you. You lose interest in a lot of things. Do you understand? That's because now your spiritual self, your higher spiritual self, which is the true essence of self, do you understand? Which is not the animal nature now. Do you understand? So when you're operating as the spiritual self or as the higher self, certain things you let go of, which is now why there's certain culture now. Do you understand? So our ancient studied and mastered all those aspects of life, because we need to understand that as much as our ancients seem or are known to be like um, living simple life, do you understand? But when it comes to spirituality, our ancients were giants. Do you understand? Because they mastered that world. That's the world that they've mastered, the world of spirituality. You understand? That's why now they created system like their mysteries. Do you understand? So we need to comprehend, fam, that mythology, fam, what it is to ionize is different from what it is to the West. You see? That's why I like to say to you all, need to comprehend, fam, and understand that there's a difference between Eurocentric um, view of spirituality and understanding, and our ancient African spirituality and understanding of spirituality, excuse me. Do you understand? Because with the understanding of energy, frequency, and vibration, with the understanding of everything is spirit, we need to understand, fam, that is why now we had certain way of eating, certain way of living, the way when you kind of like um get to attain the knowledge of spirituality or attain spiritual enlightenment. Do you understand? Automatically, your electromagnetism of your heart, do you understand? It start now to change the entire aura or your aura. Do you understand? Now you start having a different way of interacting with animals. The way you treat an animal is different. The way you treat a plant is different. The way you treat a human is different. Do you understand? Because now you have awakened to the realization that everything is one. Everything comes from oneness. Do you understand? Which is why now the way you live will also change now. Do you understand? This is why certain people think that the way we live is weird. We are living a life that is complicated, which is not really so. Do you understand? But once they start attaining that the enlightenment, the spiritual enlightenment and understanding of nature, of life, and the reality of life, is whereby now you understand that, oh, spirituality is potent like this and like that. Do you understand? Because everything is energy, which is why spiritual science is the real science. Do you understand? So we need to comprehend, fam, that we can never just talk of spirituality as like a subject. No, we talk of spirituality as a reality. Do you understand? Which is why I say now culture comes from spirituality. Do you understand? Because we need to understand, fam, that so above, so below, so within, that's without. Do you understand? That which you are on the spiritual realm or on the spiritual side is that what you're supposed to manifest. That's why even psychologists will tell you that if you are not alright, if someone is kind of like a bully, abusive, and toxic to other people, it's normally it's because those people are not right from within. Because everything comes from within. Do you understand? If people can truly comprehend and have understanding of this knowledge, and what I'm trying to make you understand that um, culture, reality, livity comes from spirituality. Do you understand? If people can truly comprehend that, we won't be having a lot of things that we are having today. Do you understand? Because if you're spiritual awakened, if you're someone that has actually climbed the Jacob's ladder, if you're someone that has actually kind of like climb the mountain, if umnyukile umthingambo weqhina walibona ilanga, awufani nomuntu othethayo loo nto leyo. Ayonto leyo onokuyikopa, ayonto leyo onoyenza ngathi. That's not something you can fake. Being spiritual enlightened is a matter of healing, transforming, and ascension. You cannot fake that. Do you understand? You can never fake that. That's why I say spirituality is unlike religion. You cannot talk like this whereas you live like this. Do you understand? You talk like you walk this one. Do you understand? So that's why I say a lot of people don't comprehend spirituality, and a lot of people are still religious, and yet they don't think they're religious. Do you understand? There are a lot of people that are still religious under the context of African spirituality. Do you understand? Because most y'all don't yet comprehend African spirituality also. You see, because you all think African spirituality is we still one of those people that are kind of like worshiping our ancestors and all those kind of things. You don't even yet comprehend this thing of ancestry and all that. Do you understand? That's why I was saying, for instance, most of your brothers and sisters that have grown up in the cities, and townships, don't even actually know your own roots. You don't even actually know where you come from. You think you're just from here, and you want to come today and tell me about Butosa. And you want to come here tell me about I'm talking about this ancient knowledge and how Obungun is connected to ancient Kemet. You cannot truly comprehend those kind of things because there are certain aspects of your life that are still unlocked. There are certain codes that are still unlocked in your DNA that are still locked. Do you understand? That's why now the more you tune, the more you unlock your chakras, the more you awaken to your ancient remembrance. It's whereby now you start to understand and comprehend all these things that we're talking about. Because most of you don't fully comprehend this thing. Most of you think this is just certain philosophy. Most of you think it is just another religion, another form of religion. No, fam, we need to comprehend that this is a collective and higher consciousness. This is divine consciousness. This is not this thing. You understand? This is not just tribal thing. Do you understand? But now that things are like this also shows or proves what I always say, that not everyone actually is connected to this knowledge. Do you understand? Because we need to comprehend, fam, that we also have spiritual DNA. You understand? So we need to understand, fam, that just because, for instance, I associate myself with ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, doesn't necessarily mean that even the next person is or does. Do you understand? Because we need to understand, fam, that we are unlocking things that are within our own DNA. Do you understand? This is a matter of unleashing your spiritual heritage, your spiritual legacy, who you are spiritually. Do you understand? Which is the essence of spiritual tribe, understanding the spiritual tribes. Do you understand? So we need to comprehend, fam, that this thing goes deeper and deeper, fam, because a lot of you all, for instance, are still victims of this worldly life. You understand? You're still kind of like trapped into the matrix, and yet you all talk of spirituality, and yet you all like to talk as if you are so conscious and spiritual. Do you understand? That's because we are not living this thing. Do you understand? We are not living this thing. Spirituality is livity. Do you understand? You live this thing. It's not just something that you only tune into when you're at tech. It's not just something that you only tune to in certain times, periodically. This is something that you are frequently tuned into, which is why we have meditation. But now, meditation is also kind of like defined in terms of, according to the levels of consciousness we are at. Do you understand? Because we need to comprehend also that meditation on its own is broad. Because some of us are forever meditating. I don't have to go do posing and everything for I to be meditating. I am forever meditating. You can do these things simultaneously. Do you understand? But now that is we can only attain that as you advance and grow into consciousness and spirituality. Do you understand? So today, fam, I just wanted you all to understand that livity, the way you live, the way you perceive reality, the way you interact with other beings, is determined by the state of consciousness you are in. And remember, I said that consciousness and spirituality are intertwined. Do you understand? In order to attain higher levels of consciousness, you must first be tuned with your spiritual self, because it is the spiritual body or the spiritual self that can kind of like attain or go tune with the higher realms. Do you understand? Because one other thing I want you all to understand, fam, is that when we're talking about spirituality and dimensions, fam, are not physical objects or places that you go with your physical body, as far as the Western science is concerned, which is the pseudoscience is concerned. So when you're talking about these 7 planets and everything, we need to comprehend, fam, that even there, fam, there's mythology in that. Do you understand? Because they were trying to hide the science of 7 major glands, which is what is known as chakras. Amadlala, hlabela amadlala, ukhumbule kwabadala ukuba unalo ukhanyo wena walala wasala. Do you understand? Because we need to comprehend, fam, that all these things, fam, are sacred. All these things, fam, are real. All these things, fam, are things that we should be applying in our each and everyday lives. Do you understand? So we need to comprehend, fam, that when I talk of spirituality, fam, as a spiritual being, you have to check how you live. You know, check how you eat, how you think, you know, how you interact, you know, how you manifest your reality, the kind of field you engage yourself in. You understand? All those kind of things, fam, we need to comprehend, fam, that are not just things that happen randomly. You understand? The certain way the way you vibrate will attract the same vibration. Do you understand? So life today is upside down. Life today is kind of like unbalanced because of the spiritual imbalance that is there. Do you understand? We have a lot of gender wars today that we cannot truly comprehend. Well, some of us do truly comprehend, but not everyone can comprehend. There are a lot of things that don't make sense when looking them in the physical eye. But once you look at things using the spiritual eye, you will see that people are not yet living holistically. People are not yet living life according to the divine way. You understand? Why do you think, for instance, we have things like gender wars? Do you understand? We shouldn't be having things like that, fam. Why do you think today we have things like gender-based violence, for instance? Why do you think we have things like xenophobia today? Do you understand? Why do you think we have things like what is this thing called? GPT. Do you understand? Why do we have those kind of things? You know, why do we have transhumanism? You understand? Why do you think we're having all these things? It's because spiritually, a lot of people those people that are in power are actually kind of like not even spiritually. Most of them are even spiritually dead. They don't have any morals of reality. This is why now they are kind of like anti-nature, because we need to comprehend being anti-Christ is being anti-nature. Do you understand? So the world is ruled by people that are out of nature. The world is ruled by people that are anti-Christ, people that are not spiritual. That's why they're allowing and promoting everything that is inorganic. Do you understand? Because we need to comprehend, fam, everything that is out of nature, everything that is anti-nature is everything that I regard as devil, evil. Do you understand? Because we need to comprehend, fam, that what it is that we came here to do, what is the essence of life, what is life, what is reality, what it is that we perceive as real. Do you understand? Because we need to understand, fam, there are a lot of things, fam, that will not make sense to you until you tap into your spiritual self. Do you understand? That's why a lot of people, when we talk about the spiritual realms, they don't consider themselves as part of the realm. They talk of the spiritual realm as if it's on another side. They don't truly comprehend that we are a spiritual person also. Do you understand? So there are certain things when you meditate that you get from the spiritual realm that you're supposed to manifest here in the physical realm. You understand? So culture and spirituality, fam, goes together. Do you understand? So now as we go more and go back to our roots, as we're trying now to kind of like revive our African spirituality, It's the way now, it's the more our culture also will go back now to our ancient cultures, because the way we live, the way we perceive reality will also change as our state of consciousness is also evolving, changing. Do you understand? So we need to comprehend, fam, that the world today, for instance, is living the way they live in this world. They are this kind of lifestyle they're living because of the state of consciousness they're in. The spiritual understanding of the people is the result of the spiritual, it's the result of the physical reality that the people are manifesting. Do you understand? So, in order to truly kind of like um, um, win this war, in order to kind of like truly change the world, do you understand? In order for kind of like truly manifest paradise on earth, in order to kind of like truly see harmony, humanity, love on earth, we need to first step into our spiritual selves. We need to go back into being spiritual, especially to Africa. Africa is rising. Do you understand? Africa is rising. A lot of people think when we are talking about consciousness and everything, we are just talking about being ungoverned. We are just talking about being unruled. No, that's not the essence or the concept of our ancient African spirituality. Do you understand? When we are saying we are gods, that doesn't necessarily mean that when we say we're gods and goddesses, we don't abide or live by rules. They are laws. They are the cosmic laws. You understand? The universal laws. You understand? That kind of like control the unveiling and unfolding of life. Do you understand? So everything is under these laws. Everything is governed by the divine laws. Do you understand? Our ancient knew these laws, which is why now this law is regarded as the injustice law, because it's not under the law of my art. Do you understand? That's why you can see even the Lady Justice has a blindfold. Do you understand? How can you see justice when you are blinded? You see, this is all symbolic, fam. This is all symbolism. Do you understand? So we need to understand, fam, that there are a lot of things that you will not comprehend or grasp about this spiritual awakening, because of we are still taking this thing of spirituality only physically or only logically. Do you understand? We don't truly see the reality, the application of all of this knowledge. That's why you see these things as just information. Do you understand? Because you don't see or understand the reality of spirituality. Spirituality is real, fam. We are all spiritual people. We are all spiritual beings. Either we are aware of that or we are not aware of that. And to be spiritual and to be enlightened, it's not just a matter of having certain words. You understand? It's not just a matter of having this information and all that. You don't actually have to come out and teach as I do in order for you to be enlightened. No, there are a lot of people that I come across with. There are a lot of people that I've came across with before. People that actually don't have no YouTube video channels. People don't do no videos or nothing. Do you understand? Because we also need to understand, fam, that as I said, that it all has to do with your personal journey. If it's your path, your purpose to do it, then do it. Manifest it. Because if it's your calling, it will keep on calling you. Do you understand? So we need to understand, fam, that livity, fam, is determined by spirituality. Spirituality in African context always led. Spirituality in African understanding is lead. Do you understand? Once you put spirituality first, everything else will happen naturally. You understand? So we need to comprehend, fam, that spirituality, fam, is very, 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 very real. Do you understand? When we're talking of spirituality, we are talking about something that's real. We're talking about something that's living. You understand? That's why I'm saying, fam, we need to start now aligning so that our reality will change. Do you understand? Because there has to be action in order to have a revolution. We can never have a revolution without action. So the only way we're going to have this spiritual revolution is by each and every one of us to start being real with this thing, start being focused with this thing, start being more and more and more determined into this thing. You already, as a spiritual being, I already know what's right. Do you understand? You just have to listen to your spirit, listen to your soul. I know sometimes you might have intuitions and instincts of doing things or taking certain decisions or making certain choices that will seem crazy and unreasonable at first, or at some time or at some points. You understand? But you need to comprehend, fam, as long as your heart pure. You understand? As long as your heart is pure, everything, fam, is going to be alright, fam. Everything will happen accordingly. You must trust the process. Many of us underwent this process of self-initiation without guidance. Do you understand? So we're all blessed that there's even guidance out there now. You understand? You can be guided onto these things. Do you understand? And again, fam, as I keep on saying, we need to comprehend, fam, that spirituality is not just about ubungoma and utwasa. Do you understand? Those are aspects and parts of it. You understand? Spirituality is more about unlocking and unleashing who you are, what you are. You understand? So in today's video, fam, I just wanted to kind of like make that clear, fam. And like I said, fam, I'll keep on making short videos, then make continuous videos on the videos that I've made so that I can make my content short, because making long videos, and a lot of people tend to lose it. You understand? Tend to lose the content along the way. So now I'm gonna try and make my videos as short as I possibly can. Do you understand? And I also, fam, as you all know, that all this work of fame is not monetized. You understand? All these things, fam, are not monetized, fam. We are out here, fam, trying to share enlightenment and knowledge, fam. You understand? We're not here trying to hustle. Do you understand? So I do have certain other businesses as an entrepreneur that I'm trying to push, as a form of hustle. You understand? So I appreciate if you all can check out my my Facebook page. You understand? Langa Enterprises, which is whereby I sell some organic stuffs. We have everything there from spiritual sticks, spiritual symbolic ornaments. You understand? We do have your perfumes, beauty products there. You understand? And more and more and more, fam. There will be more. There will be more. So just make sure you check it out, fam. And also you can check our company technology, which is Langa Technologies, or the Divine Eye Technologies, which one deals with the installation of cameras, CCTV cameras, gate motors, alarms, intercoms, you understand, solars, and inventors, or everything that has to do with security. Your support will be very, very appreciated, fam. I will also leave links on the comment description. You understand? So that you all can kind of like check it out, fam. You understand? Until next time, fam. It's Lee, Langa, Jawuti. Give thanks, fam. Bless.